guys, so today's video is going to be another storytelling video, and I'm going to be telling you guys about my mediocre Tinder experience. It's not going to be like a great story like, oh, I met the love of my life, because obviously I'm still here, home, alone, and single. I feel like such a what is that? I've been a bad girl because I decided to drunkenly one night re-download the infamous app known as Tinder. And I just get bored and I get lonely because I don't know a lot of people out here in Los Angeles. Okay, so he blocked me on Tinder, so I can't actually share the conversation with you guys, but okay. So I matched with this guy who, on his Tinder profile, his name was Jesse, and I feel completely okay using that name because I really am quite certain that it wasn't his real name. Jesse and I matched on Tinder, and he looked kind of cute. I mean, some of the pictures he looked alright, and some of the pictures he looked really handsome. And later on in our date, he told me that people think that he looks like Scott Disick. Now that I go back to his pictures in my mind because he blocked me, I realized, yeah, he did kind of look like Scott Disick, which is not good. Good riddance, Courtney, good riddance. He messaged me and instantly was like hitting on me hardcore, like, oh, I would love those lips on me after every single day at work and something. I'm pretty certain that is exactly what his message said. And I was like, whoa, buddy, like, breaks please. So we get to talking, and literally like 5 sentences in, he asked for my number, and I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna give it to him. Whatever. There's worse things I could be doing right now. I mean, I could be giving this man my address. What's the big deal with just giving him my number? He's actually kind of cool, easy to communicate with via text message, which is good. I mean, he's not giving me like one-word answers. He's actually typing out like complete sentences, which is really a great thing for a guy. And he says, I just want to take you out, and I just want you to wear a nice dress and some cute high heels, and I will take you out to dinner. And I'm sorry, but that is probably the best thing you can say to me. I'm going, because A, I got tons of dresses in this closet that are just waiting to be worn. I've got some heels that I haven't worn in months because all I ever do is go to the dog park or work. And food, I'm in. Sign me up. We're all set with our plans, and a couple days go by, and finally it's the day of the day, and he tells me that we're going to be meeting at not only a restaurant, but my favorite restaurant. And that's why I was like, oh my god, this is meant to be. I'm gonna marry this man because he knows my favorite restaurant. And so we meet at my favorite restaurant, and he had a reservation. But the weird part is he had the reservation under a different name. It's like the whole situation was starting to creep me out. And then at this very moment in time, I started wondering, like, oh my goodness, is this man like a drug lord? Is he going to kidnap me and sell me as a sex slave? So we just get to talking, and once we start talking more, he actually seems like a really cool dude, and I'm really enjoying his company, really having a good conversation with him, and dinner seems to go by pretty good. And then afterwards I'm like, okay, so well, that's the end of the day. And he's like, oh, well, where do you want to go next? So I was like, oh, okay, I don't know, where do you want to go? So he decided he wanted to take me to a hookah bar, which I was totally cool with because I used to love going to hookah bars. Back in Connecticut, I used to go to hookah bars all the time with my friends, and I haven't been in a really long time, so I said, hey, why not go now? So we get into his car, and first thing I noticed, he started making like excuses like why he didn't have like a super nice car or anything, which kind of threw me off. I'm like, dude, why does it matter what kind of car you drive? Like, why are you making excuses for why you're driving a shitbox? So that to me was kind of weird. I've never been with a guy who like tried to make excuses for what kind of car he was driving. Drives me to the hookah place, and we walk, and the entire time I noticed he's like trying to like put his hand on my lower back and like kind of trying to touch me. That kind of made me feel a little weird because I'm not a very touchy-feely person, especially on the first date. All throughout us smoking our hookah, he like kept trying to touch my leg and my knee and like looking at me and like touching my hair, and all of this just kind of made me feel like all he really wanted to do was make out with me and possibly take me home. And that kind of bummed me out because he was like a really cool dude. After the date ended, we were walking back to the car, and I really didn't want to like hold his hand or like try to kiss him or anything, so I like had my hands like this walking to the car. And the date had ended, and he told me to text him when I got home, so that's what I did. I did exactly that. I texted him when I got home, and that was the last I ever heard from Jesse or Carl or who the hell knows what his name is. It's been about like a week and a half, and of course I can say like, hey, well, I didn't do anything to text him or get into contact with him either, but he didn't, I didn't, so I'm just gonna take this as a cue to move on and just whatever that means. That's what that means. So pretty much the day equaled into nothing. So yeah, that was my kind of mediocre Tinder experience. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't like the worst night of my life. It wasn't like magical and fireworks and like the best thing that ever happened to me, but it was definitely fun. I just, you know, I will always wonder, what was that man's name? And I was too scared to ask during the date. I should have asked him, like, what's your real name? But then it's like when you're on a date with somebody and they're sitting across from you and you're having like good conversation, you don't want to be like, oh hey, by the way, what's your name? Yeah, that's my Tinder experience. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!